Good morning, Bitcoin. This is Proof of Work. My name is Thomas Hunt. Proof of Work is a show about the people behind Bitcoin and how they got here. Today we're joined by Mir. How's it going, Mir?
Very, very fine. We are in Malta and everything is good except for the weather. But yeah, the conference was great.
People always think it's a tropical paradise down here, but of course today it's raining and cold.
Yeah.
So I don't need a swimsuit anymore. Problem solved. So we're going to go ahead and start off with everyone's most favorite and familiar question. What was your first computer?
It was an MSX. Probably many of you don't know.
I know, I'm getting a question mark in my mind, but what kind of computer was an MS6?
It was a proprietary specific computer. Mine was from Toshiba. Mm-hmm. It arrived at my house probably because of my brother. Mm-hmm. So I started playing video games when I was very, very, very young, probably around 5 years old.
And what kind of games were there? What were the graphics like?
Wonderful, so vintage right now. And I had so many video games. I have so many floppies. In every floppy, you had probably 10 games.
Yeah.
Pac-Man, of course, or so many video games. I don't even remember the names. So yeah.
But the old kind where you just insert coin and start the game and you shoot things, not like a bunch of story and a bunch of plot and you have to know who the characters are. Then you get to shoot things. Then a bunch of story and a plot and a character. So the old games,
Yeah, and also I went outside to play Street Fighters.
Yeah,
that was my favorite one. I spent so many coins. They were lira in Italy at the time. It was very expensive. And I asked my parents all the time for 500 lire. It was very, very expensive. Yeah. But I played with Chun-Li and such characters. And I'm very passionate right now to them. Yes.
Nice. Street Fighter was an incredible game. It was the first one where the players could really fight against each other in the arcade. So it led to long lines and then even epic stories about people that owned donut shops who bought a Street Fighter machine. And then they're buying boats and cars and paying off the donut shop, all from the Street Fighter machine because it was so popular. Like people were just banging the quarters in there all day long. It was an incredible thing.
I still played it with my Xbox, yes.
Awesome.
And I'm better than Giacomo. We always play together. I always played with the female characters that are weaker in theory, but
some people say cheap.
Yeah,
but they are kicking and things.
Yeah, absolutely. But they are faster, and if you are good at playing, totally worth it.
Definitely pull out the wins. Well, that's great. So you start out with floppies and early computers. What else did you do with the computer besides games? Anything else?
Anything else, but to play video games, at the times I needed to write a little string of code.
Sure.
So I started very early. So probably I'm not scared by computers because of that. So I had also to use a lot of creativity to make some video games work at the time. So it really shaped my experience with technology, I guess.
And it was quite something back then. I remember I used to break the computer all the time, and then I would fix it. And I was talking to other people about how we wanted to play games so bad, we would do whatever's necessary. Like I would edit the memory configurations of the computer to make it load differently so the game would play better. And like I didn't know anything about memory, but I knew that 5 and 4, and I would like try different things. And then when it worked well, I was like, yes, I'm playing the game.
Yeah. So I can relate totally.
It was whatever we had to do. And it's funny, kids now, you just put the disc in or put the cartridge in and you're done. But yeah, the other people I've been talking to said they had to copy games out of magazines and they would type them. And of course, syntax error is something you found out about. What is syntax error? And it was like, you mistyped it, is what the computer's saying. And it, sometimes it doesn't help you or it gives you a line number, but it can be a real nightmare trying to fix that. But that's also their first experience in code. They had to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no internet or barely something like the internet. So I should ask my brother or just buy some papers, some magazine with the instruction. And also remember after that, I bought so many magazines when I was playing Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I finished 3 Tomb Raiders. Yeah, while other teenagers were living a life.
I heard this YouTube guy recently. He just became famous on YouTube, but he became famous because he did 5 years of grinding, and he's like that was my teenage years, like from 12 to 17. I did YouTube every day, and no one cared. And he's like, I didn't go outside. I was editing video. I learned, and he got the skills, and then now he's just killing it.
Yeah.
But you have to put the work in, and if you do it when you're young, it seems like you didn't put any work in, but you just put work in when you were young. It's different than people that maybe wait till college to start or something like that.
Yeah.
So after you played the games, did you stick with computers the whole time, or just kind of drift away, maybe come back in college or a later experience?
Well, actually, when I was a teenager, at some point I stopped because probably people mocked me just like you're being too nerd. You should live a life or things like that. And it pretty much convinced me. And when I was 19 years old, I was about to start computer science at the university.
Yeah.
But then I thought, oh my God, this sounds just like a great idea. Many told me, oh, you are women, you're not supposed to do something like that. And that's crazy, but it happened.
Sure.
It was Italy, the beginning of 2000, so not so
long ago. Yeah, I mean, people forget, like the civil rights era in America was only 50, 60 years. And people remember this, and they remember not being able to go to the bathroom or not being able to program computers because people looked down or they rejected you. It's a real thing.
Especially as a woman, it was just something like, it's impossible. You should do something else. And I was like, maybe they are right because I was so young.
Sure, you don't know to challenge. And some people challenge everything, other people listen. It's not. It's hard to face society and say, I'm doing what I want to do, I don't care. And if you don't have the examples like Pascal or Ada Lovelace, early women computer scientists did all this work. I mean, I forget their names, but the movie Hidden Figures, there were these NASA calculators, these women that did all the work to send us to the moon, all the different formulas, they had it in their heads. And we don't recognize them all, but the astronauts, everybody knows their name. And it's starting to change a little now, which I think is great.
Yeah, I think it's great. Right now, there is less stigma. So if you want to do something, you just go on. It's full of very young, cute dev, and that's amazing.
Yeah,
they are doing a great job. Yes.
Well, it's the same thing. We have to judge them by their code, not by if they're young and cute or whatever.
And you can do it because sometimes you only have to use pseudonym or probably just submit the code, and you can be recognized by your job and your work, and not by your look or just because you are.
And one day you go public at some convention, and then they have to deal with it. And you're like, oh, well, you wrote all that code, you established all those thoughts and ideas and wrote papers and whatever it is. Just judge them by the ideas, judge them by the papers. If I disagree with you, I don't like your ideas, I don't care about your personal background. I'm talking, ideas.
It should work, and it should be a great idea. That's all that matters at the end. So I think it's, in this field, it's even easier than other fields. So I did a mistake at the time, but then after some year, I'm here involved again in technology.
So did you back away from computer science?
Yeah, absolutely, totally. I have a degree in linguistics, then another one in musicology, and I spent my 20s doing a vocal coach, a singer.
Interesting.
Yeah, something totally artistic because I feel just like I have two sides of myself. One is very artsy, and the other one very techy. And I find my balance doing both of those things together.
And as you were a singer and you're outside of computer science now, how did you find out about Bitcoin?
Yeah, Giacomo told me about Bitcoin. Nice. I guess it was 2012. Oh, even no, not earlier, but 2012 seemed realistic. And we talked a lot. And then this kind of crazy idea grew in my mind. And at some point I told Giacomo, okay, Giacomo, you should quit your job and do something all Bitcoin related, because at the time Giacomo was doing a job that he really didn't like it. And I thought that Bitcoin was perfect because it was the union between technology and political economics, and it was perfect for him. But at the time I was doing my PhD, so I was just like, you do this stuff, I will come later, maybe, I don't know, see what happens. And I asked Giacomo, please do something with those Bitcoins, because maybe it could be a nice idea, but we lost the Bitcoins. We didn't have the occasion to mine, we have been empty boxes, so at the end we are, yes, we are in the list. But yes, we are still around, and I joined him with all the guys in the lab in Milan, probably 2015, because I was in New York to doing my research for my PhD, and in the meantime there was a consensus, and so I joined people at the table talking during dinner, and I was like, oh my God, I love this stuff. I want to do something like that. This is so important. This is history in the making. I want to be part of this. Please tell me what I have to do, and I will do it. So I started joining the other guys at the lab in Milan, and I learned. I spent 24-hour days learning about Bitcoin. Yes.
So you were way into it. It took a little while, like with most of us. We see it, we forget about it a few years, you come back later, feel really bad you could have bought it early and all that nonsense.
It happens.
But then you got all into it, and you're like just going to do it every day, and make the videos and the tweets and the conferences.
You can stop. Those kind of things. You can stop at some point.
That's right.
You have to learn everything, and of course you found out that you just have discovered such a small part of this amazing, incredible world. And for me, the most incredible part has always been meeting incredible people all the time that really inspire me to study more, to learn, and every day is amazing because of them.
And it's been great to meet so many of them at this conference, and I was just at the Manchester conference, so it's great to just go conference to conference and to be inspired by all the people you meet. So.
It's incredible. The quality of the conversation and the topics really blows my mind every time. So even from this conference, I will come back home, and for weeks I'm going to think about all the topics, all the stuff I have to go deeper in the next month.
Very nice. And Mira, where can people learn more about your work or follow you on Twitter or something
like
that?
Actually right now I'm a full-time mom, but I plan to come back very soon, and you can find me at mir_BTC, and also I have a YouTube channel with my interviews, so if you want to watch them, and I plan to do more in the future, and when I will find a new equilibrium, but I'm about to come back.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much
Thank
for the interview.
Thank you so much. I had a very great time. Thank you.